On the 12th day of aircraft, we have a rocket ship, specifically a Saturn V, a giant Saturn V, a replica that's fairly accurate. I don't know what I'm singing, how, why, or anything. If I remember correctly, oh, the first stage does have enough thrust-to-weight ratio to get off the ground. I thought for a moment maybe it didn't, because I did make a version of this, or a variant or something like this, that doesn't quite do it. But in any case, going to the moon, baby. I don't know why. Oh, I've been watching BDG recently. That's why. I was wondering why my brain is thinking like, baby? And it's because of BDG, because, of course, BDG. Beautiful person, actor, thing. I don't know how to describe him, really. I don't think you can describe BDG, but yeah. In any case, this Saturn V replica uses, of course, the Saturn V parts and these old school winglets, which just felt right putting right there. And the interstage, you might have noticed there's decouplers facing each other. That's because I made the interstage. I think it stages correctly. To be honest, I haven't launched this in a while, so I don't remember if that'll break or not, but it probably won't. We're probably fine. I also don't remember just how well this gets to orbit. Oh yes, we have a low thrust-to-weight ratio on the second stage. I believe because of that, we either need to have a steeper launch profile or... well, definitely a steeper launch profile. I just don't remember exactly how steep the launch profile needs to be. We're at about 200 meters per second now. I'm going to go ahead and begin our pitch maneuver over. On the real thing, we were quite a bit downrange by the time the first stage burned out, but in KSP, I believe I do this a little less accurately, but I'm not super worried about that. I don't mind. I think it's still beautiful and good and worth doing in this particular manner. I'm going to go ahead and halt our progress towards the horizon at about 45 degrees, if the game will let me. Come on. Maintain it at about there. Yep, there we go. And we're about done with burnout on the first stage. And you'll see that I have this staged somewhat more accurately to the real thing in terms of the actual sequence of shutdown, separation, startup, that sort of thing. I don't remember exactly how all that goes. We do have SRBs in the appropriate locations, little Sepatrons in the appropriate locations to mark the way the real thing worked. So you can see those come off down there. These start up. Then we drop the interstage, which gets massively ejected straight into the back of the other piece because this is KSP, yo. Of course it did. And as you can see, we're immediately in some trouble because our thrust-to-weight ratio is 0.72. And I believe this might be the part where we need to go ahead and go to prograde. And we don't need the escape tower at this point anymore, so we can go ahead and ditch that. That will give us a little bit more thrust-to-weight ratio, but not a huge amount more. I don't remember exactly how much we need to follow the prograde marker or not. Taking a look at our projected thing, our projected apoapsis, periapsis, and actually our apoapsis is getting pretty close to outer space, even though our periapsis is not nearly high enough, our speed is not high enough, and we are getting closer. I think at T-minus 1 minute, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to stability assist instead of prograde hold. And by the way, the engines we are using are the venerable J2s, or as KSP calls them, REI2 skiffs. And there are 5 of them on the second stage, because that's how it works. That's how it worked on this craft. I really like having the Saturn V accurate. Something that I never realized before, and like I always thought that there was a kind of fairing over the command module, and it turns out no, this is just sticking out here in the air. The first one was painted white, which is probably why I thought that there was like an extra fairing like sticking out there. Also, that reminds me, where is the moon? Because there's no way it's in the correct position for us to be launching direct into an injection burn right now. I didn't bother to line that up before starting the video today. I figured we can just go into space and then, you know, we'll work it out from there. Because that usually works pretty well. In any case, we are actually managing to slow our relative speed to the apoapsis, like the amount of time that it takes to get there. You can see we're holding it back quite well, so I'm not as worried about running out of fuel. I'm going to go ahead and throttle down the engines just a bit. One piece of the real life that I'm not replicating is the center engine would actually shut down early to prevent G-forces from getting too high. Also, you might notice the gimbal limit is set to 0. That is one bit that I did replicate. The outer engine's gimbaled and the inner engine did not. So, in my version, same thing on the first stage. The inner engine does not gimbal, but the outer engines do. Getting down to about 30 seconds to apoapsis, I'm actually going to go ahead and throttle back up because we need to not fall back into the ground. You can see we've already gotten back above 30 seconds to apoapsis, so that's just dandy. I'm not going to check the map yet. I'm going to make sure we get into a stable orbit before I go ahead and bother checking the map. Speaking of which, this rocket gonna do it. I'm kind of surprised. I expected the second stage to get us close to orbit, but not quite there. I guess I flew it better than I thought, or I added more fuel, something like that. I don't remember exactly. Sometimes I plan these things rather well, other times I do not plan them rather well. And which is this? I don't know. You'll just have to see. And you can see the game thinks we're in orbit now. We're very close to being in orbit. And I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, let's go ahead and just ditch that, because who needs it? And also this fairing, yay! Do I have the... okay, good. I do have the engine engaged. Don't know why it's showing... oh, yes! I forgot. There were a bunch of other little motors on the third stage. I don't know if... I don't remember at all if it's accurate to have them held on quite like this, but it's what I did. And also, completely forgot, let's go ahead and finish establishing that orbit. Yeah? Come on, just go. 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 There you go. 70 kilometers. We're good. 86 by 70. Who's counting circles? Come on. In any case, now it's time to find where the moon was. The moon was there. Don't remember if this has a battery drain. It does not. Okay, good, good. Battery drain comes later. That is a significant problem. And I believe right about now we should be coming up to a moonrise. Let's go ahead and cancel out our time warp, have it reorient us prograde very slowly, very dramatically. And of course we have to continue our thrust to the moon before we undock and reattach and everything like that. At least I think that's how it works. I don't remember exactly right now. Oh, hey, look, it's the moon. Let's go ahead and get on our way over there. And you can see our thrust to weight ratio is quite low again, so it's going to take us a little bit. Just a bit. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to orient this booster to impact with the moon, because that seems like a good idea. That was a thing that was done. So why not? Also, this burn taking too long. Let's burn quicker. And nope, still not hitting. And impact trajectory achieved. So now that we're on an impact trajectory, the safest thing to do is nothing. I'm kidding, obviously. But I'm going to go ahead and detach the command module. Flip around to actually, before I do anything, let's just target this. Let's hit RCS, hit in, slow our relative removal, aim at the target. Ah, yes, and of course the RCS are gonna... wow, the RCS really don't like us. Let's try and... oof, I've just made a mockery of this whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and time warp just a moment to fix our relative positions. And then I'm going to fire our RCS up. Okay, turn off the RCS. Aim at the target. Okay, stability assist. Let's go ahead and get our translation controls up. And then Okay. Just give it a tiny bit of juice. Now see, in real life, you want to do the dockings very slow. Let's just go ahead and give it a little bit more juice. Time warp just a bit. And right about now, we kind of want to... Let's go ahead and just turn towards the target again. Oh, try not to hit it. That was very close. Now, what I want to do is, as we're coming around to be pretty much oriented with it, I'm going to go ahead and switch to stability. Turn on the RCS again, and we're going to turn on... Nope, this way. This way. Slow us down, slow us down, slow us down. Let's get H, just get us a bit closer to lined up. Oh, wrong way. This way, this way. Up a bit, up a bit. Towards. Okay, now reorient towards target. Okay, now that we're... No. Okay, now our relative speed is heading pretty much right on target. Go ahead and disable RCS. Go ahead and let us get closer. So I'm just going to let them kiss like this, because even though that is way misaligned, it's close enough for KSP. And you know what? Normally I do this docking so easy without ever having any issue with that. And also, I need to actually point retrograde. Oh wait, no, prograde. We'll do prograde. And let's see how our relative speed's doing. We're still on an impact course, so I'm going to go ahead and hit this button now. That didn't work. There we go. Yeah, so that's going off into the moon. And obviously we don't want to hit the moon, so we're going to go ahead and use the RCS again, and we're going to go to the map, and we're just going to... Oh, apparently we already have a periapsis. I wonder if the booster has a periapsis. It might not. In any case, let's get there. Let's get there. Let's get there a little quicker. A little quicker. A little quicker. Oh, yeah, no, let's get a little more speed there. Just a little bit. I like to try to reduce my time warping as I'm coming in close like that, because those things get not great. Alright, we're going to want to point retrograde. Let's go ahead and get ourselves down to... Okay, now! Fuck, I went too far. Fuck, go back! Oh shit. RCS, I don't actually need you, RCS. But I do need... Stop! In the name of love! Oh shit. Oh wait, no, that's just megameters still. Kilometers. Alright. You can see we're slowing down to be in orbit of the moon very quickly. I forgot that it slows down, like, slower as you get closer. Okay, our periapsis is dropping faster now. Let's go ahead and get our periapsis down to about 10 kilometers. Actually, let's go for 12. Alright, now if we go back to the map screen, you can see that we're actually pretty close to our apoapsis at this point. So we're going to zoom around to our periapsis. And I went a little too far again, but that's fine. And we're going to go ahead and reduce that apoapsis as well. Get it down closer to us. Pretty close to circular. There you go. A little bit past circular, but close enough for now. And let's land in the sunlight. So let's go ahead and warp around the moon real quick. Just at least get to about here. And then once we're here, we'll go ahead and... let's actually go ahead and aim this prograde instead of retrograde. And we're also going to want to transfer some crew who all have jetpacks. They shouldn't have jetpacks. I specifically took the jetpacks and parachutes off of them, but I guess that didn't save in the craft file when I loaded new Kerbals on, so YOLO. In any case, transfer crew. What do we want? We want... It went away. Wait, where'd it go? Ah, there we go. Transfer crew. We want to transfer. Who's our? Oh, I can't move it. Okay, who's our pilot? Tessin. Tessin and Turgan need to be in it. Tessin and Turgan. So Tegan, gonna put you in here. And oh no, this one. Where'd it go? It's down here. What? Oh, there's the transfer crew. It's up there now. Stay in one place, menu, please. Please, blue. Anyhow, gonna go ahead and say no docking. And of course, that means we need to be on this. You go ahead and enable our SAS. Wait, this has reaction wheels? Oh, did I add that? I don't remember adding that. Oh well, in any case. We need our engine, which I'm just going to fire just very gently to go around the capsule, because the last thing we want to do is run straight into the capsule. How much time we've got before we run out of sunlight? We should really start our landing burn now. And full throttle. Okay, maybe not. That was a bad timing. We're going to just bounce. It's fine, though. It's fine. It's fine. They did that in the real one, too. Also, I don't think the landing legs were supposed to deploy until we were lower also, but oh well, whatever. In any case, this particular lander design, if I remember correctly, has a very low thrust-to-weight ratio. It gets higher, of course, as we use up our fuel. However, it is low enough that we do need to be a little bit concerned about making sure that we're doing all right. Also, I believe the fuel cell is not started. I was going to say, the fuel cell is here specifically so that you can have permanent power. Yes, it uses more fuel, but the amount of fuel it uses is relatively minimal. I'm going to go ahead and stop it, though, because I think we don't even need it. This does have a transformer on it, or alternator, doesn't it? Don't remember. No, it doesn't, because we're using power again. In any case, as you can see, we're descending quite well. And as long as we just keep ourselves pointed at the retrograde, we're pretty much going to have a very smooth descent. I did put a landing light on this. Forgot about that. Let's go ahead and turn that on. There you go. I mean, we're landing on the daytime anyhow. I also do have a docking spotlight as well. Since this is KSP 1.11 and we do have those now, I decided why not include the extra specials. Also, you can see I did include a surface scanning module. Some of our other science equipment is on this panel. And of course we have experiments in here. We got, what is this? Is that a bunch of the solar ones? Yeah, it's a bunch of solar panels. That's... Did I just pack 2 things full of solar panels and 2 things full of everything else? I guess I did. Also, you might notice that these are not actually symmetrical. Or at least it is symmetrical, but not in a cross formation like you might expect. It's actually slightly off from that. You also might notice if you look closely that the panels are they an octagon? Oh, they're not an octagon. There's 12 sides. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 10 sides. It's a double pentagon. I don't know what you call it, actually. I don't remember. And the landing gear are similarly slightly misaligned, but still relatively good. And basically, that's just how things ended up doing for this. Also, we should probably look at our actual altitude rather than just that fake altitude. Also, we're running out of ISP pretty quickly. Let's throw some RCS in there because we might need to abort. I don't know. I have made a grievous error. I guess I needed to go to a lower altitude before starting my descent. I didn't realize it did. Or I needed to burn off more monoprop before coming down this far. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and stop burning the monoprop once we're down to about 1/3 of it, because I really don't need that much. But you can see we have more ISP. We have more ISP left than our velocity, so hopefully that'll be okay. I don't know just yet. We're also, of course, coming down faster now. And I think actually we're below 1/3 of our RCS, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that back off. And I've not practiced at all for this mission, which is maybe the death of me. In fact, I'm going to say it's definitely going to be the death of me, considering we're coming down way too fast. So fast that I'm going to abort the landing. Oh shit! What? Why is the engine not on? Interesting. I tested this before. I tested the lander, and it worked. What the hell? That's weird. Well, you know what to do now. And that's, of course, to land the command module on the moon, because if you can't land Yolanda, might as well have a direct ascent, right? This was actually part of an original plan for Apollo, was to have the entire craft land as one thing. It was only later that they're like, oh, we should have a second lander. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Which is, I don't know, I just think it's amusing. I think it's kind of funny. I'm going to go ahead and burn off my RCS first, because it's extra mass coming around, and in fact, you might notice my delta V will actually rise. Might not be enough to actually see it indicate here, but the delta V on the... There we go, 672. So I just gained a meter per second of delta V by burning off my RCS, whereas if I had used the engine and then the RCS fuel, it wouldn't have gone so well. I would have actually lost some of that. In any case, another thing I could do is probably just be like, hey, oh, enable cutaway. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to blow the panels. Can I? Huh. There was a button to do that. Oh, here it is. Can I? Oh, that's also going to decouple me from it, though, so I don't want to do that. Oh well, in any case, we should again probably know where the actual ground is. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off the monoprop at about 20, maybe? I don't know. See, we have a much higher thrust-to-weight ratio on this, so even at a very minimal throttle, we're doing quite well. Let's see. RCS, do we want to keep using it? Do we want to keep using it? Do we want to keep using it? I mean, I don't really use it for much. You can see I used it for our alignment earlier, but oops, that's not what I meant to do. Oops, I accidentally clicked out of the window. Okay, we're turning off the RCS now, as well as the engine, because pretty close. And we're landing on a bit of a hill. That is a problem when you're landing on an engine bell with no proper landing gear, but I think we'll be fine. Oops. Not quite what I wanted to do. As you can see, it's actually quite easy to land it very, very gently. Oh, 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 don't fall over. Don't fall over. Stay upright. Can I... Oops, that's the wrong way. Okay, let's turn that back on. Hold on. Can we just find a position upright to settle on? Like nearly upright, but not quite. Okay, I think we're fine. Yes, we are. All right, there we go. And we have 430 meters per second, which may or may not be enough to get into a very low orbit. Probably not. There is only a single Kerbal here, of course, though, so we can get out and push. And by get out and push, I mean get out and barely survive by EVA-ing away from the craft. There's also nothing in here for me to do anything with. Hey, let's go ahead and let's blow the panel, see if that gives us more delta V. Wait, what's this? Oh, yeah, that didn't do anything. Hold on, let's go ahead and just put an empty stage here in case it breaks things. There we go. Panels removed, and as you can see, I did actually include some stuff in here, so we can extend this antenna and extend this antenna. Even though this is not a thing you would do. Oh, I have them on symmetric. Okay. Couldn't remember that I did that. But, yeah, the Apollo could do this. I don't know if the real one could do this, or if this is just me being silly, but there you go. Moonbase Beta has been established, because somewhere in another game I have Moonbase Alpha. Thanks for watching, and as always, whoops.